This is Not a Player Pod, a sports podcast by fans and for fans covering everything from the hardwood to the gridiron. So without further ado, let's send it off to the stars of the show, Lewis, Max, Jack, and John, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is nap time.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Not a Player Podcast. We're back for another week of picks and preview for, what is this, week five of the NFL season. Yes, the Vikings are again overseas. They're currently in London after coming off of a loss against the Steelers in Dublin. Fellas, it's a new week. I feel like these weeks are flying by. Feels like week one was just yesterday. It's already week five. We're getting close to the I guess we've passed the quarter mark, the 1/3 mark, I guess we're coming up on. The season's kind of flying by, but I guess it's a good thing that the days in between the game days go by quick. How are we doing on this Wednesday?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually while prepping. I was like, geez, we're already on week five. I feel like I still don't have a great feel of this year, as we can tell by my record, but I don't know, we can turn it around. I feel like it's been a mediocre start to the year. There hasn't been a ton of interesting stuff in the NFL, so hopefully they give us a better second half, or second 2/3.
2/3. Yeah, I kind of agree as far as record goes too, coming off another 1-5 or 1-4 week. There's been good games obviously and come down to the wire, but hard to read and feel like everything still feels very early for being week five.
Yeah, I mean, before we start, I actually think we should go over the league as a whole real quick. Who do we think are legit Super Bowl contenders? I didn't tell you guys I was going to ask this before, but it just popped up in my mind. And I think it's worth talking about at this part of the season. I'll start. I think there are three teams in the NFL that can win the Super Bowl right now. And that can change over the coming weeks if teams step up or if one of these teams don't. I think it's Chiefs, Bills, Eagles. Not in any particular order, but those are the only teams that I truly believe could win the Super Bowl as of right now. Am I crazy?
I think a little bit. I think there's a few more teams that you could put up there. I think that the Lions have proven me personally wrong this year. I think that they can win the Super Bowl. I think that the Packers can still win the Super Bowl. I actually think that the Ravens can still win the Super Bowl. We've seen this Ravens team get healthy late in the year and come into the playoffs red hot. So I would add those three, but other than that, I don't see too many more. Max?
I'm buying Ravens stock right now too, for sure. I'm kind of out on the Packers at this point. Their defense doesn't seem good enough down the stretch, and pairing that with a mediocre
Ravens,
offense.
though, are the same thing.
Well, they have a high power offense that can get going. I think this Packers offense is not going to do anything that's going to shock us at this point as far as performing super, super high level. I think the Rams are really good, probably a slept-on team.
That's a good one.
And I still believe in the Bucks once they get fully healthy. I like the NFC a lot.
Kind of your Packers thoughts. I agree, but in a different way. I think their defense is fine, probably good enough. I think it's that I just don't truly believe in Jordan Love.
They just let up 40 points
to win a Super Bowl.
I
know, but early in the season they were stopping teams. I think it was sometimes the Cowboys pull you into that type of ball game. I don't know how they do it, but the Cowboys just do that to teams.
Yeah, we're gonna look back at some of these games early in the year and be like, what the heck? Nothing.
Yeah, for sure. I was texting somebody that Commanders-Packers game early in the year, where the Packers just absolutely dominated the Commanders. I don't know if that's more of a Packers or after that game, people were saying less so about the Commanders stinking and more that the Packers are they might not lose a game. This team is the Super Bowl favorite.
Well, people even on their own team were talking about that. There was a Packers defensive lineman who
didn't know if we'd ever lose.
Undefeated.
Yeah. With regards to the Lions, Dan Campbell, can he win a Super Bowl? I don't know. Jared Goff, if their offense isn't clicking, I've mentioned this about a few other teams, Chargers being one, that when it looks good, it looks great. When it doesn't look good, it doesn't look great. Obviously that's redundant, but
when it doesn't look great, it's bad. Everything's clicking.
Yeah,
basically.
Correct. And the Lions do it better than the Chargers. The Lions are a good offense. But at any moment, in any game, I feel like if Jared Goff's under pressure, he can just turn into a pumpkin, like
Yeah.
at the snap
We
of a
saw it
finger.
last year in the playoffs too against the Commanders.
Yeah,
He threw like 4
yeah,
interceptions in that game.
yeah. So, that's why I'm just not willing to go all the way there with the Lions.
You're right at those top 3 teams being that top tier though, and then it's like kind of like tier 2 contenders after that.
Yeah,
They're
juggernauts, and then you got the rest.
I don't see a world where the Lions like go into Philly and beat the Eagles. I just can't imagine it right now.
Eagles are
all
going
right.
to end up being their own worst enemy down the road.
Yeah.
If the media gets to AJ Brown, that could get ugly.
AJ Brown's already been doing a little subtweeting too.
Yep. How about, not to pivot too much, but are the Colts legit?
No.
No? I'm not saying Super Bowl, but none of us had them making the playoffs.
No, I think they'll make the playoffs, but
Well,
Chuck?
okay.
Well, I'll be talking about the Colts later in this episode with regard to this upcoming week. But no, my answer is no, they're not real. They're good. They're not, I guess what does real mean? But
not making the playoffs? Are they?
No, they might sneak in as a wild card.
the AFC
They'll
falls
lose
off a
immediately,
cliff
though.
as well too. So like you can probably go 9-8 and make the playoffs and be a mediocre team, and that division is horrendous. Not quite horrendous, but not good.
It's pretty poor.
It's bad.
Correct.
A lot of bad football teams, though.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to come out.
Should we go over our picks and our current records?
Yep. So as I mentioned earlier, not Max and I's best year so far. I am 7-12. Max is 9-10, and John is 13-6. Well in the lead. Last week, I made a little bit of a comeback. I went 3-2. John went 2-3, and Max went 1-4. So things are trending the right direction for me.
Frickin' Raiders.
The wrong direction for you two. So let's see if we can keep this up this week. Let's start our first game with Denver plus 3.5 at Philadelphia. John, take it away.
I've mentioned it in prior weeks, and I'm going to stick with it, even though prior me would want to take the Broncos here.
I think you should.
It's a contrarian play. The Broncos seemingly turned it around last week against a terrible Bengals team.
So did the Vikings. Vikings turned it around.
They did look good, and sometimes that can change things. No matter who you play, it can change the vibes. It can change things. And the Eagles, some of the vibes aren't great there, like you just mentioned earlier with AJ Brown. But I'm going to take the Eagles because I told you guys that I'm done going against the Eagles, especially at home, especially when the number's only 3.5 like this. They can very easily cover this. I do think it'll be a higher scoring game than some may think. I think people think that the Broncos defense is the best thing of all time and that the Eagles defense is pretty good too. The Broncos defense on the road is actually not as good as you think. And the Eagles, I think the last 2 weeks proved they are starting to score more points. So I think this might be an over as well, but I like the Eagles. A little bonus pick.
I don't see myself ever betting on the Broncos this year. I've declared them frauds, just based off of the media coverage, the Sean Payton love, Bo Nix having what some people consider a stellar rookie season. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, so I was watching that Monday Night Football game. It was a horrible game. I didn't realize that Bo Nix had the most passing touchdowns ever by a rookie. That kind of jumped out at me. I kind of discounted that rookie year a little bit, thinking people were overhyping it. But that is a kind of a for real stat by me. Not by me, but
by you.
For me.
Well done.
Also, I kind of think this Denver defense can hold. I mean, how many passes did Philly complete in that second half? Do you guys have it off the top of your head?
Philly? 0.
That's not in the dome.
It was 0 in the last game. So I think with this Patrick Surtain and other defensive backs for Denver that are some of the best secondary.
Do you know how many attempts they had? Like how many pass attempts they had?
Here's the other thing. Saquon has not been that good this year. I've been beating this drum all year so far. Like he's been rushing for the least amount of yards. I don't think it's a Saquon problem. I think it's more of an offensive line problem. I think there's major flaws in this Philly team. I'm not saying that they're going to.
What are the flaws?
they can't run the ball, they can't throw the ball as well as that they used to be.
But they can score the ball.
But here's the thing: they win ugly football games, and
they've scored 30 plus in the last 2 games.
They're gonna figure it out.
So what is it? They don't have it. Do they have it figured out or no?
No. They don't have it figured out yet, but they will have it figured out.
Let's just be clear here. They haven't figured it out, but they are 4-0, and their offense has been great.
Their offense has not been great. Their offense has been mediocre. They just play these dink and dunk games that are close, and that's why I will be taking Denver with the points to go away from you two. Give me the 3.5.
You need
that was one of the worst explanations and reasonings for a pick I have ever heard. You were just spitting absolute the antithesis of accurate statements that entire time.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have any good stats in front of me. It's just my kind of intuition with what I've been seeing on my eyes the last few weeks. So,
to make this clear, I am absolutely not out on the Broncos. I am actually buying stock in the Broncos. I think, Lewis, that stat you said, I don't quite understand the Bo Nix hatred. I really don't. Just because he got off to a slow start this year, you know what? He also got off to a slow start last year. I think this Broncos defense is pretty good. I think Sean Payton, as much as we may not like him, is a very good head coach. And they have underrated weapons, including R.J. Harvey. And I like J.K. Dobbins. And they just had their first 100-yard rushing game last week, so maybe that's a good
thing. Sounds like you want to bet on the Broncos.
No, listen, I'm being smart. I like I said, old me would pick the Broncos here, but I told myself that I'm done going against the Eagles.
Yourself.
No, I'm not. I am being smart. That is what this is. But I want to make it clear.
Are we going to make this a certain?
No.
Do you want to go through some of the other games first?
Check the other games first.
We can move on. I just want it known that I am in on the Broncos moving forward.
Okay. Out. All right. Let's move on to the Bucs plus 3.5 at Seattle. I will start on this one. I don't really trust either of these teams, to be honest. And if they were playing, what is that face for, Tuck?
The Broncos seem like a pretty trustworthy, the Buccaneers seem like a pretty trustworthy team.
Yeah, they're just banged up right now, though. I don't even know if Bucky Irving's going to play. Mike Evans obviously is out. Baker seems to be a little banged up every week. Their offensive line is hurt. I think they're missing their tackle and a guard.
So you're picking the Seahawks?
But you're going to be taking the points.
But I'm going to be taking the points.
Yeah, I knew it.
I think that this is going to be a close game. I think this might come down to a last-second field goal. I'm not really sure who's going to win. I don't really have a specific lean either direction. And when I feel like that, I will go with the points. I don't trust... All right, here's actually the main thing that I think, and I don't really have any stats to back this up either. I think that Coach Mike McDonald doesn't fully trust his offense to win games, and they won't be able to...
Well, clearly... That Arizona
they
game
kind of turn into a
pathetic.
shell of themselves. Yeah, they go into a shell and just I don't know if he fully trusts him. I think that he wants his defense to win games more because he's a defensive guy. And they games end up being closer than what they should, even if Seattle's the better ball team. Go ahead, you two. Curious to see your rebuttal to that one.
Go ahead, Max.
I agree with you that Seattle, Arizona, I think it was last Wednesday game.
Thursday.
They
don't play on Wednesday in the NFL. They don't play Wednesdays in the NFL.
Did I say Wednesday? Sorry, I meant Thursday.
What is it, COVID?
Thursday. Yeah. I think it was Jack Borst that would text us that wasn't exactly a masterclass in coaching. They wanted to give that game away so bad to Arizona, and I think somehow the right team didn't win in that coaching battle. Just a complete disaster. With that said, I have claimed to be a Sam Darnold believer. These are my two dogs, him and Baker. So I'm really just going points again for the Bucs for I think the third week in a row.
I hate that I'm doing this, but for the first time in what seemingly feels like a month plus, I am agreeing with Lewis on just about everything he said, except for the fact that he said the Bucs aren't trustworthy. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Baker's
They're not
Baker's one of the most
now with all these injuries. Is my point. Keep going.
Still pretty trustworthy. There's a lot of teams. There's probably 25 teams that I have less trust in at this current moment than the Buccaneers. But yes, I wholeheartedly agree with the thought that the Seahawks coaching staff is putrid. I think Mike McDonald showed his true colors in that Arizona Cardinals game.
Really, I think that he's a good coach. I just think that he's hasn't fully trusted his offense yet. And once
he might be a good
they'll figure it out.
He might be a good defensive mind, a good defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he clearly was, that the way they were calling plays at the end of that game last year, that was a thing that not only Clint Kubiak was, calling the plays, but Mike McDonald had a say in that. They were playing so safe, and I had to think McDonald had a say in that, and it was gross. They should have lost that game to the Cardinals if only that Cardinals kicker knew where to kick the ball. But that's neither here nor there. Still thinking about that kick. So I'll take the points here. I do agree that it'll be close, and the Buccaneers are one of the best teams in the fourth quarter. So I'll take the Bucs.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on to the Commanders. Another +3.5 line. I think we're seeing a trend here at the Chargers. Max, why don't you go ahead on this one?
Is it 2.5?
3 flat.
All right, we're going to go 3 flat.
3 flat. Okay.
3 flat. Give me the Chargers. This has been a horse of mine all year. Have them making the playoffs. I think the only one on the pod. I think they're going to shake off last week, get things rolling again on offense. I don't think the Commanders are anything special. Old team. Do we know who is going to be quarterbacking the
Jaden, most likely.
He's back.
Jaden, most likely. Yeah, I don't think his return is going to be some spectacular performance. I got the Chargers.
Lewis, you go ahead.
I just think that this is a kitchen sink game for the Commanders. I think that this is kind of like a must-win type game. It's kind of weird to say that in Week 5, but they're already, what are they, 1-3 right now? They're kind of just not in the best space. Losing
2-2. They're 2-2.
2-2. Excuse me.
Must win.
My must win's a little less. I kind of had it in my head that they were 1-3. Either way, I'll be picking the Commanders. I just think that I would like the points again here. I don't fully trust this Chargers team. And Herbert could be like a great September quarterback. He could be a pretty good October quarterback, but I really think that Jaden's going to come out and play really well. I think that we're going to see the shift to the Commanders of the past year.
It is October.
I know, that's what I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth right now, because this is a tough game to pick. I really don't know. It's kind of a coin flip one for me.
Yeah, it is.
So, I'm taking the points again when it's close. I'm taking the points. I just think that Jaden is going to come out guns a-blazing here.
Tuck, are you sure you want to be on that side of that explanation, that reasoning? Is that the side you want to be on?
The reasoning's not the best. I just think that it's a kitchen sink game.
Yeah, Max, I was really hoping you wouldn't bring up that fact check there with him saying October, Justin Herbert. And for that reason, since it is October, I will be taking Justin Herbert and the Chargers in this game. I'm not really high on either of these teams. I think, as people predicted, it was kind of a public take that the Commanders might take a step back this year, and it's kind of coming to fruition, even though Jaden's missed the last 2 games. I almost think that people will overlook, or I guess overanalyze the fact that Jaden was out and Marcus Mariota was in. This could be a steaming hot take, but I don't think the Commanders are that much worse with Marcus Mariota as their quarterback. They play pretty similar games. Their defense is the reason they lose most of these games. Mariota was helping the offense put up numbers for the most part. And I just think the Chargers offense is good enough to put up, I think this will be another high scoring game. The number is 48.5 as I see right now. So I'm going to take the Chargers. I don't love it, but I just think the Commanders aren't very good, and their defense is really, really stinky.
Yeah, kind of. But I just think that Jaden's able to make a few explosive plays a game that just Marcus doesn't have. Like, Mariota might be able to make kind of like the dink and dunk type plays, look the same as Jaden, but then Jaden will break one for 40 or have a deep pass to Terry or something like that. So that's
Terry,
what I think the difference is. Even though I don't even know if he's going to play.
I believe
I think
Terry's out. Okay. If he's questionable, he's questionable. Okay. But, that would be, if he was out, I was just going to say that's another big thing. Like last year, Terry and Jaden seemed to have a fantastic connection. Even when Terry's played this year, it has not barely been a thing.
Which is another shocker that a wide receiver holds out all of camp and then has a slow start and gets hurt. Never seen that playbook before. So maybe sign your guys earlier. don't.
I
tee
think we
off
called
camp.
that early on too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my fantasy team's hurting because of it, or one of mine. All right.
All right, let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday. This is Sunday Night Football?
Yeah,
Yes, Monday.
Monday Night Football. Is it Monday Night Football?
Monday.
Yes.
Yes. It is Monday Night Football. It's October 6th, 7:15.
That was, you know who that yes comes from?
Stu Finer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kansas
Yes,
City -3.5 at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chuck, why don't you go ahead and start on this one?
All right. This year I've come in, and as I've mentioned already in this pod and in previous pods, I am trying to be smarter and different than I have been in the past. This is another scenario where in the past my heart would be wanting to see the Jaguars win this ball game. And therefore at home with the points, I would take the Jags. But in this situation, I'm going to take the Chiefs. If this game was played at noon in Jacksonville, I would probably take the Jags in the points, given the Chiefs might come in a bit sleepy, etc. But I'm going to take the Chiefs in this scenario. I don't think the Jags are ready for prime time. Trevor Lawrence is going to throw a couple of interceptions. And the Chiefs' offense is seemingly starting to find it with Worthy coming back last week. And, I mentioned how much I think I'm still in on the Chiefs. I don't know if that was last week or 2 weeks ago, but the Chiefs are still being overlooked, and I'll take them this week, 2.5 or 3.5.
Yep,
3.5.
I think that the Jags won a couple of these games by just a little dumb luck. They're averaging, credit the Bill Simmons podcast for this, they're averaging 2.3 turnovers a game. So that's not really the most sustainable thing that'll happen throughout the course of the season. That being said, give me the Jags and the points at home. I just think that they can continue this weird little run of turnovers. I think they're going to turn Mahomes over, whether it's fumble. I can see the Chiefs playing a little dink and doink offense a little more. I think that the Ravens' defense is so bad right now, just because they're so hurt, that it made the Chiefs just look unbelievable, and they just rolled through them. I really think
The
Jags can be
the
ready.
Jags played a really competent 49ers team last week.
I mean, they at least had their quarterback. Like, they at least were ready. And just give me the points. I want the points in all of these games. That's what I'm doing. If anyone's noticed that yet.
Are you going to be riding this Jags team into a second week of Devani's games of the week?
No, I
would
more
love.
confident in the
No. Can we please have this be the Devani's game of the week?
All right, fine. We can
Lewis,
make this
I think you got to
the
ride.
Devani's game of the week.
I think you got to ride the Jags.
All right,
Ride the Jags into it.
let's roll. Devani's game of the week. Even though we're not going to watch
You
it
Devani's
together.
this Sunday. Is that accurate?
You do. It was more fun last Sunday watching the Devon's game of the week together. Though.
You know, if there is another game you feel pretty confident in, and
what
maybe
about
I
the
feel
Denver
confident.
plus 3.5 at Philly? We're on opposite sides of that one too.
I don't love that one though. I want one that I absolutely love. Do you love the Jags?
I think he has to take these Jags into a winning second week.
I'm kind of on your side with this game. I like Denver more than Jacksonville, but I'll since I'm on the winning side this past week, I'll come to you this week and go Jags.
You come to my turf?
I'll come to your turf. We'll go plus 3.5 Sunday Night Football.
Okay, sounds good.
Give me the chicken bacon ranch hoagie. Hopefully they remember to bring Max's this time.
Yeah, frickin' A.
Max ended up eating simply cheesy bread on the couch last Sunday. Don't know how that fared
heated up
that night.
sausage from 5 hours earlier.
Correct.
All
I
right.
haven't given my take on this game yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also will be taking the Chiefs. I don't like the Jags. They played a pathetic 49ers team last week and still barely got it done. And I agree with Tuck that the Chiefs are going to figure it out one way or another. I like them prime time. And I don't know, this Jags team is just
anything
not...
to be said on Coach Duval getting in a fight with Robert Saleh after he might have a little bit of pep in his step. He's feeling good.
You think he's going to get that? What?
I just think that he's going to get the boys going. I think Travis.
You think
Hunter's gonna get a
Duval's
little more
feeling good?
involved. Yeah, Coach
Duval?
Duval,
Yeah.
bro.
You think he's feeling good?
What is this? I don't know what this is.
Duval! You're talking Coach Duval.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I
I
think that he's gonna get the energy going. I think Travis Hunter's gonna have. How about this? Travis Hunter breakout game. He's been a slow start right now. Get him. He's gonna score a touchdown this week. That's my prop of the week. Travis Hunter touchdown.
Okay.
I'm a little shocked. This is on a serious note, real quick. I am a little shocked that I saw a stat that Travis Hunter is playing only like 30% of defensive snaps and like 55% of offensive snaps. I thought it would be the complete opposite coming into this rookie
Yeah,
year.
and he's
Is
like the
this gonna be like?
71st ranked wide receiver,
Yeah.
Is
which
this gonna
is
be like
just
a horrible
ridiculous.
trade looking back at that? Like,
Yes.
this might be
They
a
want it.
bottom.
They want to still have him be quote unquote both sides of the ball when really he's like neither.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I truly think that the only way he becomes like a, Pro Bowl type player is on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's way too small for an offensive side. The guys of his stature on the offensive side, like wide receivers, are like, Cavante Turpin or, these little gadget
Like Worthy or
guys.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
mean
gadget
he
guys.
has those flashes. I just don't think he's a game changer. Like trading
No.
up
Well,
for
we'll see.
him
We'll
would
see.
be.
We'll be talking on Sunday. I guess we're not going to be.
This is Monday, I
recording
guess.
it.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should do. No, it's all right.
No,
No, because we'll be fine because we'll recap it next Wednesday. Let's.
I
move
want
on,
people
though.
to know. Hold on. I want people to know that if they do follow my picks, that is my lock of the week. Even though we will have another flex play of the week, I love the Chiefs.
Well,
Continue.
I like that talk, but I was going to mention I've been in that situation a couple of times. I was going to ask, should we let our flex game or like our lock of the week also be a game we picked? You see that on like Barstool
No,
Sports
we're not
Advisors
doing
every once
lock
in a
of the
while.
week. These are just flex games. It's not like
Right.
a lock.
No,
Fair. Just wanted
they're
to
all
put it
worth
out
the
there.
same. So I have another
Yeah.
play I like. It will continue.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and go through that one then? Because we're done with. The
Yeah.
Chiefs.
All right. This game is last week I went with a game that people wouldn't know about, and that it was, well, I guess my flex play people would know about it if you listen. Panthers plus 6.5.
Oh yeah, that
that
was.
that one was over pretty. I'll never forget.
Oh my
It was
gosh, was that
first
ugly?
first quarter. Panthers score a touchdown. Of course, miss the extra point. It's what the Peas do. They kick off. They they get the ball back after a quick 3-and-out by Drake May. I believe the Panthers are then driving. I mentioned Lewis next to me. Man, I can't wait for Bill Simmons and what he's going to say when the Panthers beat this Patriots team. The vibes were immaculate at that moment. And 2 seconds later, they punt the ball. Patriots take it for a touchdown. I'm pretty sure that the score was like 35 rip from there on out. It was, or 35-6 when Andy Dalton came in 35-7. That was an ugly game. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
This is a similar game.
Not ideal.
No, this is a
Glad we
similar
got that
game.
Panthers recap.
Yeah, I was just about to say you really go into depth on the Panthers
Yeah.
compared to any other team, and they're like a bottom 5 team in the NFL. I was on your side with this
Needed
Panthers
it.
like BS, but now it's just like, all right, this is I can't be back in the Panthers every week. I'm gonna go bankrupt by week 18.
Hey, I'm not. I'm withholding myself from picking
You're
the
not
Panthers
even picking
again.
the Panthers this week. Why have we been talking about it for 5 minutes?
I was comparing them to the pick I'm about to make, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. This is kind of a gross play. Contrarian, some could say. I don't know if it's contrarian because 7's a lot.
Who are they
Public
playing?
will actually be on this. They're playing the Colts, and I just feel like the Colts are due for some sort of dud, and it might not even have to be a dud. I feel like the Raiders haven't played good ball, and they are capable of playing better ball than this. Geno Smith isn't terrible. I know Gene Smith came out last week. I need Geno to show up on this Sunday noon Sunday noon affair. Pete Carroll doesn't seem like a coach that's going to allow a team to go 1-4. And so, yeah, I'm going to take the 7 points. I feel like 7's a lot. If this game was week 1, I think the line would be like maybe Colts -1, and now
Yeah.
it's Colts -7, and so that's a 6-point difference, and I'll take the 6.
Have the Colts proved themselves to earn those points?
They have, but I don't know. I
If
just
Donnie
think
Mitchell drops the ball out of the end zone again, we'll see. I don't know.
I kind of
Exactly.
just
I think you like the Raiders outright, you said?
not necessarily.
Yeah, you don't want the points.
You don't want the
No, no,
points?
no, 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 no. No, I want the points. I just feel like the Colts aren't as good as they seem, and the Raiders aren't as bad as they seem.
I,
And
I
so
I like that pick this week too. So take that for what it's worth right now. My stellar record. I'll go ahead.
let's just hope
That's
Gene
enough
Smith
Raiders
doesn't
Colts
show
talk.
up.
I
I can't afford
will be
Gene
picking
Smith.
the Sunday night game, and that is the Patriots at the Bills. I just think that I really think the Bills just play with their food and they play down to their competition. I think the Patriots are ready to surprise some people on Sunday night. I think that Drake May is starting to play a little bit better ball. I think the defense is mediocre. This has backdoor cover energy written all over it, so I definitely want all 8 of these points here. Josh Allen had for some reason, the Bills just run the ball against bad teams. They don't let Josh Allen throw against bad teams. We were talking about this last Sunday. If they start letting Josh Allen throw against this Patriots team, I will be a lot more nervous. The Patriots do have Christian Gonzalez back, so their defense is a little more shaped up, but I don't know. I'm getting a weird look from Max right now. You don't agree with my Patriots
Well,
plus 8? It's a lot of points.
as we know, the Patriots had the Peas last week. And I think
This,
they might be
this
a
is
little.
This is not based on last week's pit. None of this is based on last week.
No, not that it should be, but I just think that this Patriots team might be a little bit shocked coming into Buffalo Sunday night. They might get blown out.
Wait,
But
you're telling a Bryce Young fan in the middle of my screen right now that is John Tucker that Josh Allen is better than Bryce Young? I don't.
that might come to as a shock to you, John. But I do think that Josh Allen is a little better than Bryce.
One might be
And can
better.
hit
One
wide open receivers, unlike
at
Bryce Young in
at
that
this
Patriots game.
at this moment, I will take Josh Allen. But with what Bryce has as a potential, let's just wait and see. I actually like the Bills in this scenario, and I think it's a lot of what Max said. But I do feel like it feels like the Bills, what Lewis you were just talking about with they like to run the ball and kind of keep games close, and they don't push the score up. I feel like that's a noon game type of thing. I feel like at prime time they're not afraid to put it on, and they've seemingly done that in the past. I mentioned it before the pod when they played the Niners last year. I believe they did it again recently. Maybe not this year. Maybe it was a couple of games last year where they put it on uh, in Buffalo at night. So I think the Bills might dominate this football game. They're
Okay.
clearly the better football team. I mean, they're clearly the
Yeah,
better
they're
football
clearly the
team.
better ball team. It's week 5,
Yeah.
and Buffalo's kind of
Yeah.
due for like a stinker. I don't know if it's gonna be on national TV. You're probably more right that it's due for a noon stinker, but
Well, if we're done shitting on Lewis's game of the week, I'm gonna give my.
His fault.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys in New York against the Jets -2. I just think
this
that
seems
this
like a
Jets
purely
team
based
is.
on last week pick.
Oh
But go
yeah,
ahead.
oh yes, big time. Cowboys are gonna be riding that high after they won that tie, obviously,
Yeah.
and the Jets are just pathetic. Give me the Cowboys. Give me Dak to get in the end zone again, Lewis. Good pick by you.
Yeah, great pick by me. I'm just a little nervous about this. I don't know, because I agree with you, but at the same time, I think the Jets got yelled at by Aaron Glenn after that game. I think they're going to be mad. They're going to shore up these penalties a little bit, and I think that this was a kind of a weird Cowboys game. That they're really energy, they're up and down. I'm not disagreeing with you because I am the resident Cowboys fan of this podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't know. I could see this being a little bit of a trap game for him too. So I'm not really gonna be betting on this game. I don't think. Tuck.
Sometimes when we record these pods, you go in thinking one thing, and then 30 minutes later you hear some things, and you might hear a take that you agree with, you might hear something you disagree with. Going into this pod, I believe 45 minutes ago, I told you guys I love the Dallas Cowboys this week, and then I was just sitting here thinking, sulking in my thoughts, and Lewis, when you mentioned trap game. I sat here and thought about it. This is the definition of a trap game. And so I do like the Cowboys here. I believe prior I said they may be my survivor team for the week. I am no longer choosing that. I'm getting scared just simply staring at the game here. I see nothing but the spread in the two team names, and it's making me scared. I think this could be a trap game. So
Yeah, it's an
I
ugly
think it's
one
a
for
stay away.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that Survivor being mentioned. Why do you have another Survivor pick now? Let's
Why don't
move
you
on.
guys go
All of us
first?
have one in Survivor.
Actually, no, I'll go. I can go
Okay.
if you want me to. I'm going to pick the Lions. It's a 10.5 point spread. We've seen what the Bengals are the last 2 weeks. The Lions offense versus this Bengals defense might look like what maybe like the Vikings would look like against the Edina High School defense. It's going to be ugly for the Bengals. Detroit outside, I guess, it's they don't look quite as good at times, but I just think
Uh,
this is such a mismatch.
yeah, let's not
Yeah.
complicate this one. Cincinnati stinks.
Yeah, Max, you go ahead.
I've got the Arizona Cardinals against the Tennessee Titans at
Okay.
home.
I like it. Titans still stink too. Cardinals are
Yep.
mediocre, but that's a good team to get rid of. I will be taking Brian Flores and the high-powered defense against a rookie quarterback making his first start. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, Brian
2-0.
Flores 5-0 against rookie QBs.
Yep. Well, is that first start or just rookie quarterbacks in general?
First start. That's a good question. Rookie QBs maybe.
All right, we'll go with rookie quarterbacks.
I'm on the
Or
Titans,
first
by
start.
the way.
Seems like a lot for
I
first
like
starts, but
I like Titans, and there's a chance that I don't even want the points.
I mean, I don't hate that, but as far as Survivor goes, I like to get the Cardinals out of the way against the worst team in football.
I feel like the Titans are due for some sort of
Their
performance.
quarterback, their coaching. All right, their coaching is so pathetic though that like
There is no reason the Cardinals should be favored by 7.5 against any team in the National
correct,
Football League.
correct. Give me the points in that game.
Yeah.
Give me the points in a lot of games this weekend. I wish I could say I don't want the points, but I want a lot of points.
Lewis loves points every week, it feels like. You love taking points.
I love taking dogs. Give me some points.
Should we talk about the Vikings game real quick? I have a question. Do you think would you rather face Joe Flacco or Dylan Gabriel?
I'd rather face Joe Flacco just because I just really think. I mean, you could pick either way, and I think the Vikings are going to win this game. But give me the rookie quarterbacks in their first start are rarely good. Jackson Dart being an exception, especially against Brian Flores' defense that in an offense it's already bad. I think that they'll just have, and it's not like. Sorry, I'm kind of just rambling on here, but Dylan Gabriel is a third-round pick. He's not a good high pick either. So
No, I like the Vikings, obviously, but I really don't think their season starts until after this week.
yeah, this is a must-win game though.
Do we have the Vikings making the playoffs still?
Yes.
Yes, yes, John.
I actually do as well, but it's
Sneak
a
in
little.
at 9-8. How about that?
But that would mean JJ has to start playing some good football when he comes back.
Correct.
Yeah. Do we know who's on the O-line? O'Neill's out. Kelly's out.
Donovan Jackson might be out.
He's definitely.
You know,
I think he's not gonna come back till after the bye.
Isn't like Tarek Skubal on?
That's why I said I really think their season starts after the bye.
Google had a good outing yesterday.
He did have a good outing yesterday. He's kind of a hoss. He'd probably be able to play tackle if they needed him.
He might put up a better effort than Justin School, who you're actually referring to.
Yes. Just be ready for TJ Hawkinson to get 0 receptions in this game because he is going to be chipping and blocking every single play.
Or just not see the field because they'd rather have Josh Oliver do it. All right. Anything else? I guess there's a couple games we didn't touch on. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on any other games.
No, nothing's jumping out at
Nothing
me.
sticks out. Do you
Nothing
need to
sticks
touch
out.
on?
Texans Ravens is kind of an interesting one. Like, can the Ravens survive and go without Lamar Jackson and not go down to 1-4?
I really like the Texans in that ball game.
Okay.
I think the Ravens defense
-1.5.
sucks. I think the defense sucks enough for C.J. Stroud to actually sort of have his 2025 coming out game. I'm predicting it.
You hear his press conference today about not being fully grown up yet. He's still growing at 23 years old.
Like physically or mentally?
Physically, mentally.
I'm hoping the same thing for myself personally.
It was an interesting one.
That was a good episode.
You don't have anything on the game in Carolina?
That's what I was going to ask if you needed to touch on.
Dolphins,
we've already hit our P's.
The D's and the P's? Nothing on the D's and the P's?
No.
That's a tough one. I think I take Miami personally.
I think I take Miami too.
No Tyreek. All right. That'll be it for tonight's episode of Not a Player Podcast. We'll be back on Monday morning for the recap show. Hopefully the Vikings would have won by then. The game will be over by then, but hopefully they get a W this weekend in London, England. And hopefully there's a good Sunday day of football. Other than that, thanks everybody for listening. Follow us on all social media platforms. Adios.